Kitkatscanread.
Hello everybody, my name is Katie. Today I am coming at you from a comfortable angle. So I'm going to be speaking about my 2021 goals and my reflection upon them. I'm sorry if you can hear my washing machine in the background. I am just washing a blanket that Luna peed on. So that is that. So without further ado, let's go through my 2021 goals that I set at the beginning of the year. So first goal was the 10 books to read in 2021. So every year I always set myself some sort of 5 books to read this year, 10 books to read this year, 15. I originally used to go with the years. It used to be 16 books to read in 2016, yada yada yada. But then it got to be so many, and realistically it would be 21 books to read in 2021. To me that's quite hard because there's so many releases that come out. Why should I stick to these 21 sort of thing? So I feel 10 is a nice little round number. So out of my list of 10, and I'm going to read to you the books that are on my list of 10 here. So I had Clockwork Princess, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, the Magpie Society One for Sorrow, Legendborn, The Raven Boys, From Blood and Ash, Truly Devious, The Geography of Lost Things, Serpent and Dove, and Storm and Fury. Now out of all of those books I have read 2. One is Clockwork Princess and the second one is From Blood and Ash. Now Legendborn is on my December TBR. I don't know if I'll manage to get around to reading it. It's difficult to say at the moment, but 2 out of 10. Yes, it's quite poor. It's less than 50% of getting them done. Yeah, it is really bad. So I mean, at least I read something from the list. I'm trying to think positively in that sort of respect. But yeah, I mean, Addie LaRue I did attempt to read. I just couldn't get into it at the time, which is why I put that down. The Raven Boys, it was a book that I did really want to pick up, so I am putting that forward to next year. Serpent and Dove I did pick up at one point as well. With Storm and Fury I completely didn't realise that it was a spin-off, so I was a bit should I be reading this just yet, or should I read this series that it's a spin-off from first and then go into it? So I'm thinking of doing it that way, so that's why I didn't really go into that one. I didn't want to end up spoiling myself on the series or anything. So yeah, I didn't really think too much about my list, but I attempted to do it. My second goal for 2021 was the 50 books Goodreads goal. Every year I set myself 50 books to read on my Goodreads. This year I will not be able to achieve that because I would have to read 11 books in order to do so before the end of the year. I don't think that's feasible unless I literally read graphic novels for the rest of the year, or really short children's books or something. But I don't want to cheat, I don't want to do that. I literally just want to enjoy the books I'm reading. So 10 less than that, 40 books is pretty good. I am going to set myself 50 for next year as well, because it can be doable, but a lot did happen this year, which is what stopped my reading. So the next goal that I had for 2021 was to continue more series. So I feel I didn't really do this. I ended up starting some series. I think I continued on with a couple of series. So I completed the Infernal Devices trilogy with Clockwork Princess, and I read Hidden Bodies, which is book 2 in the You series, so I did well with that. And yeah, I did continue with other series that I started, graphic novel series and the Heartstopper series. But I mean, what I realistically meant by series was finishing series what I did with Clockwork Princess, or continuing on with series. So yeah, I ended up rereading the beginning of some series again in order to get the gears going. So hopefully that has helped for the year of 2022, but I still could have done better with my sequels and with finishing some series and some duologies and you name it. So I feel I can do a lot better, but I did attempt to read some series in the year of 2021. So My other 2021 bookish goal was to cut my reread pile down. I feel like I did kind of do that because I did start some rereads. I read The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer recently. I reread, I think, like a couple of other books from my reread list that I can't really put my finger on, but I feel like I've done pretty good to cut it down a bit more, which is pretty good because I've managed to add them to my read shelf over here. So I do feel like I've reread a couple of books. Yes, I could have read a bit more, but yeah, I was also focusing on other books as well. So I did read a couple of rereads. So I'm pretty kind of like happy with like the way that my rereads went, because it's not like I added any books to my reread pile. I was just rereading some books, whether it's for comfort or whether it's to start a series or whatever. So my next 2021 challenge was the 5 to 1 book challenge. This completely failed. I did start doing a book balance sheet at the beginning of the year, and that just ended up somehow going in the dust and blown away. I have no idea what happened with that, but there were a mixture of months where I just bought way too many books, or just like some months where I did really good by buying only like 3 books. And then, you know, the most recent months where I've lived here, I've not really bought so many. But the trouble is, it's about those free bookshelves. They're a real killer, aren't they? Those free bookshelves, like where you can just literally pick up books and stuff, like in supermarkets. Like they are the killer of them all. So yeah, I know in my head that I have gained way too many books this year that I should have done, and I get stressed out with the amount that I have. But yet I go through them and I know that I want to read them all, so it's really hard to unhaul and stuff. So I have unhauled some books this year, so that is pretty good considering, I mean, I've unhauled books I haven't even started reading, and that was like a hard task like to do previously. But I literally just like looked at them and I was just like, am I seriously going to read this? This isn't really my sort of book. Like, why did I even get this sort of thing? Like, I got it because it's an international bestseller, but is it really my thing? Not really. So yeah, ended up like getting rid of it. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can try and do the 5 to 1 book challenge next year, because I want to cut down my book piles like so badly, like really badly. It'd be lovely if I could read a whole bookshelf like in a year, and then I can just get rid of a bookshelf. Like, that'd be really cool. So the last and final challenge I had for the year of 2021 was to participate in more readathons. I feel like I kind of did this because I tried to jump on a readathon that I thought I could put the prompts to. Some readathons I failed miserably at. I kind of like went in with the headspace of like, I'm participating in this readathon, but I'm going to read at my own leisure sort of thing. I'm not going to like push myself too much. I'm going to read like in my own spare time, and if I can read some books towards things, then yeah, that's really great. And I feel like that's why I've not been really doing any TBRs for any readathons, because I'm just like, look, the books that's on my actual TBR, if they can fit some prompts, then yeah, I'll read them for the readathon. So that's kind of like what I've been doing. Like, for example, for the reindeer readathon that I'm participating in this month, 2 of the books that are on my December TBR could fit towards 2 prompts for the readathon. So when I finish those books in my own leisure, I managed to tick off those prompts and get some points for my team. So I'm just kind of like doing it that way. It's a more relaxed way of doing it. And yes, if I feel like I can fit some prompts off of my TBR for the readathon, then I will participate in it. I don't know how I'm going to go for next year. I've started a book club with a few other bookish people, so I'm hoping that's going to go really well. So with that book club, and then with my own book club starting again, and then with my own readathons that are going on, I feel like I'm going to be like really busy. So I feel like next year I possibly will just like host my own readathons, and then maybe if there's a readathon that I really badly want to participate in that's really popular, like the Whatever You Want-a-thon, if that happens again next year, like that'd be really good to participate in. So yeah, I should see about like readathons next year. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but I'm hoping to get back into some readathons again. But it's just all about like, can I find the time to do it, and will I have the reading time to do it, and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't even know why I made a books to read before the end of the year list, because they contain most of the books that were on my 10 books to read in the year, and also some random other books I really wanted to read, and I have not read any of them as well. So yeah, that was really bad. I also had the wrapped books as well, where I was meant to unwrap a book per month. I kind of started doing that, and then it got to like the later months in the year, and I'm talking like August, September, and I just didn't unwrap any books. I didn't get around to reading the wrap books either, so to me it was like, well, this is a bit pointless. I'm gonna try and maybe like wrap up a few next year, so that if it does come up on my TBR game of like wrapped book, then I can like unwrap a book towards that, and then it's a mystery book sort of thing. It's like going on a book date with a book. So yeah, I might like incorporate it that way, just have like 5 random books from my TBR just wrapped up, and then if that problem comes up, I've got a wrapped book to unwrap. So yeah, which is unfortunate really. I finished Cardcaptor Sakura, the graphic novel, but I literally just wrote down like all the books that were like the wrapped books like here, and just wrote them down, and I've only read one out of all of them. And in the end I just unwrapped the last few books of July, August and all that. So yeah, didn't do very well with my 2021 goals. Sometimes I do wonder, like, why do I set myself some goals if I just can't achieve them? But I think it's always good to set yourself some sort of goal, like even it, like just try and be like realistic with a goal sort of thing. So yeah, this is my reflection upon my 2021 goals. Let me know how you did with your goals in the year of 2021 down in the comments below, and maybe give me some ideas for like some bookish goals as well. I just like try to set myself some realistic goals that I feel like I can achieve. Everyone is different with their reading and everything. I cannot read 200 books a year. There's just no possible way with my workload and with busy life and everything. Like, there's always something going on in my life, and support work is a stressful life as well. Working in health and social care and in that environment is stressful. So yes, I'm going to end this video now. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. All my social media links will be linked down below if you'd like to follow me elsewhere. But my name is Katie. Keep smiling, keep reading, be happy, and I will see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye.